Hello everyone. Let us have a discussions on today's important articles. Today's important article is very important from the students' point of view. Those who are trying Army, Navy, Air Force or paramilitary, they should definitely read this article, or at least they should understand what's the importance of this today's article. Here today the author or the writer has discussed something a serious issue, a national security topic where something is going on wrong with the politicians and the armed forces. For example, here you can see a separate group, strategic policy group, and next, National Security Council. These are all some new measures or new ideas by the current government to make our defense establishment strong. Right. Now that's fine. Okay, they are going to do it. But now, what is the issue? In Parliament, there is a report been submitted where in Doklam Plateau, Chinese have filled in more forces, right? So the Doklam issue is not yet solved, and again there is rise in Chinese incursion in Doklam. Now this issue is declared. Now what is the issue here? Army, Navy, Air Force. They don't have coordination. Army is working on their own, Air Force is doing their own job, and Navy is doing their own job. There is no proper coordination among them. For example, you might have come across situation where Air Force crafts have been crashed, Jaguar crafts crashed, officers been killed, or the pilots been killed, right? But there is not even a single comment by the Army. There is not even a single comment by Navy. Now, when it comes about surgical strikes, or something across ceasefire violation by Pakistani rangers. At that time, Air Force is quiet and Navy is quiet. When it happens with Navy or naval aircraft, naval ships like INS Scorpion class submarine, where the details have been leaked, what happens? Air Force and Army is quiet. Why this is so? Why there is no coordination? What can be done? Now, when this Rafale deal has been signed, only Air Force is in trouble. Why not Army and Navy? Why there is no voice raised by these officers? So here are some questions raised. Fine. Now suppose if I take an example, a politician who doesn't know anything about defense, neither he has seen anything about Army, Navy, Air Force, neither he was an NCC cadet. Now he is a defense minister and he is going to procure or bring some weapons. He has no idea of what is this weapon or what is this aircraft about, right? So in order to cater this kind of event, government is coming up with an idea called strategic policy group or national security council, where retired soldiers or retired officers will be heading that committee, and they will be giving suggestions to the planning government or the government bodies. Right, fine. This is all a good idea. The same idea was done by the previous UPA government. They had something called Defense Acquisition Council and many things. But here comes an issue where why can't we have Chief of Defense Staff? Chief of Defense Staff. You can see here Chief of Defense Staff. The senior most officer among all the three chiefs can be the Chief of Defense Staff, and there could be a good coordination among them in case of war. For example, Army says that I'll take care of the land borders. Air Force is telling that I'll take care of the skies, and Navy is telling I'll take care of the sea. Now this is fine, but why shouldn't there be any cooperation or any camaraderie? Right. Now suppose in case today if we are being attacked by some foreign elements, and this position we are not in a position to coordinate. Army is going to do their own job, Navy will do their on their own, like that. So the point here is, the author want to stress here is, in order to have a good national security, we should have a good cooperation among all the three services, and the best thing can be done is choosing the Chief of Defense Staff. So this is one important article. Those are trying for SSB or Army, Navy, Air Force, you should know that this is the issue. Like Army has their own air wing, Navy has their own air wing, and then why should we have separate Air Force? And this is not the question by the author or by me. This was a question by our Air Chief Marshal Mr. S.P. Danoa itself, right? So this is the thing you should focus on. Now other article, if you go here, about an journalist who has been missing from many days. This journalist used to work for Washington Post, and this Washington Post is a newspaper, and this journalist used to give lot of articles against the Saudi prince Mohammed bin Salam, or we call it as MBS. Now this MBS was criticized everywhere in his article, and he was insulted or something was going on. And one day in October 2, this journalist, he visited in Istanbul. There is a Saudi consulate, right? The thing was, he wanted to have a divorce, but on the same day in the same building, 15 of Saudi Arabian officials were there, and they told like they are all for some meeting. There is a video footage of the journalist entering into that consulate, but there is no footage of him coming back, and from that day he has been missing. It is more than 20 days now. So the world body, they are raising a question. This is a plan, or this is a planned murder by MBS, Prince Mohammed bin Salam. He has killed this journalist because of his articles. So this is one thing. But now Turkey is in pressure. They want to prove, or the Saudi Arabian government, they want to tell the whole world that they have not done anything. The person is safe. But the things predicted here is, the person, the journalist, has entered the building, and the 15 members inside, they have killed him, they have chopped his body and smuggled out the pieces of body pieces out. So that is a story running behind this murder or this incident. Nothing much from our CDS or any exam point of view, but the thing is, you should just focus for SSB point of view. They may ask like what's happening in Istanbul, or what's happening in Turkey, Ankara, what is going on there, who is the president, Mr. Erdogan. Okay, now there was a military coup on him. So these things you can tell for SSB lecture, or it will be helpful for your interview. Now there is another topic called Me Too, written by an author called Vaishnav Roy. This article is nothing much important, just they are focusing on what should a man and what should women do, why these women are coming up nowadays with this all these issues. Fine. Now another important article from our defense perspective, that is an interview between a former foreign secretary. Now in this interview, Quad, that means four, a group of four countries is been given importance, and those four countries are US, Japan, Australia and India. I repeat, US, Japan, Australia and India. These four democracies, actually this was the plan of all these countries, like why can't these four democracies unite together and have a same defense strategy or have a same goals like that. Now what for this Quad was there, and why China called this Quad as an Asian NATO. Asian NATO. Now let us look one by one. The recent visit by the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, and the sign of S-400 deal gives lot of importance on how or where India is going in its foreign affairs. For example, Americans have threatened Indians that if we go and do trade with Russians and Iran, they are going to put sanction on us. But India's external minister, Sushma Swaraj, she is telling that we will not accept any sanctions apart from the UN. United Nations, if they are putting some sanction on us, then we will agree it. But a particular country putting sanction on us, we are not going to agree for that. Now, what was the significance of this Vladimir Putin visit? Apart from S-400, the government of Russia, they are willing to give lot of submarine technologies. They are very much interested, but now we have to move carefully, because on one side we are signing a deal with US, on the other we are making friendship with Russia, and on the other side we have a Chinese incursion on Doklam issue the things are going on. Now again the same things have been discussed here, like India is forced to have a neutral strategy when it comes to US. Now they have given two case study. In Paris Agreement in 2015, China, without even consulting India, they had made friendship with US. That means China is not talking to countries which are in developing stage. They treat themselves as a superior category. Now, apart from that, Chinese feel that they are almost equal to US. That's why they are not giving importance to other countries. So that is one thing where US and China, they are going ahead. So in order to counteract this, we have signed a deal called COMCASA. On the other side, Russians had tried a lot to have a good friendship, but now Chinese are becoming more stronger in eastern parts of Russia. That is one thing. Now, when it comes to European Union, US, Russia, and all other, China as a country, India had to balance it all. But now there is problem between these Europeans because of the Donald Trump leadership in America. Even they are confused now. There is trouble among these US, Russian, and European agency, and due to this, we are experiencing the pull and the pressure of these events. Okay, so here what you should take from this article is nothing but Quad, QUAD, that is four countries where they want to become a powerful democratic country in order to have a defense strategy. Now these are all important things which is covered in today's article. Apart from that, a politics article, how the politician should be or something like that, and other articles are not much important. Prayagraj, you know about what's going on in Allahabad. The name is going to be changed soon, and things are not as expected from exam point of view. Rest everything is over. Yeah, business news or the articles are all about the private firms, about their profit and this thing. Fine. Now this is the thing you have to focus on today's newspaper. Hope today you understood or you got to know something about some international events. Thank you.